everyone out there, do not forget to share the live stream.
Don't forget to share the live stream. We are back. Game 1 for M8HEXA versus EVOS Esports here. I'm very impressed to see that these teams are actually still going for the girl theme here.
Girl
power.
They're going with the 100% girl power, right?
For sure. And M8HEXA should start to pick up more tanks after this rotation. Valheim. Okay, Valheim from EVOS Esports. Surprise, and the insta-ban on detail Annas. There you go.
Smart that they saw that coming. But Valheim doesn't have a pretty good stat in this tournament so far, but maybe EVOS will prove as well. I mean, he's very conditional. Like, yes, the stuns hurt and can slow or he can chase pretty much anyone, but if he gets bursted down or if he is left without anyone to protect him, he's actually very vulnerable and very squishy.
I feel like that's basically the case for most of our teams here. Sometimes you want to protect someone who's super vulnerable. However, on the side of EVOS Esports, it's only just that Valheim so far. Sephara and Omen are usually just really beefy fronts. Even Sephara, with the water wall, usually does just provide so much safety because of the crowd controls. The massive AOV crowd controls. So, is that a Yord ban? Wow.
They did ban out Yord.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but maybe they know someone from EVOS that's very exceptional on Yorn, or maybe they think Yorn will be the unexpected pick from EVOS Esports.
EVOS this time around banning out the Yorn. Basically just trying to stop any marksman from going over to M8HEXA. They're kind of expecting, even getting up the Lindis. Almost, actually not almost, a pure marksman ban out from the EVOS team.
Then this being locked in right here. So last two picks for M8HEXA. Who will they be? Roxy being hovered right here. Who will be the last hero that they lock in to complete their draft for Game 1. Third series, Game 1.
It's basically EVOS Esports trying to force M8HEXA into a Wisp pick, but they don't want to do that at all. Going for the Rourke instead. If we want some range, don't want someone who's like super squishy and really bad in the early game, they pick up Rourke instead because of that.
Very standard and meta picks from the side of M8HEXA. For EVOS, so I think they have a small shaking up to do. They picked out Valheim, not actually feeling that pick for now, but let's see if he is able to snowball Airy. Apparently the fourth pick and Rourke for the last pick on M8HEXA.
Roxy would have been great. It's another frontliner, but they don't need that apparently for this moment. Go for the Lindis. Chognar. Oh man. Another first coming from EVOS here. So far in this tournament, Chognar has great anti-crowd control capabilities. Will definitely help a lot, especially against the Biao-chan.
Yes.
And something we'll have to wait and see against the Irie as well. The Irie's gonna have a bad time here. Careful.
A bad time, or I don't know, it could still work for M8HEXA. They just need to make sure that they won't be caught off guard or they won't be out-rotated by EVOS Esports right here. For EVOS Esports though, I like how they did shake up a bit on their draft. I mean, seeing a new hero being picked could catch M8HEXA off guard.
Right.
But at the same time, they have a lot of win conditions and they have a lot of conditions to fulfill. Not to mention, they have to make sure that the Biao-chan won't be able to catch them if their, who was the last pick? Chognar is not within the area.
Chognar. Great front line, by the way. A lot of pretty solid picks here coming from EVOS Esports. Should be cool. Let's have a wait and see. Cannot wait to see how these teams are going to start it off, because apparently if you want this this M8HEXA composition to really hit it off, you need a strong start.
Yes. And of course, shout out to Rojon Ulep right there supporting the team that he loves. But of course, before we load into the game, guys, do not forget to share this live stream. If you love M8HEXA or if you love EVOS Esports, come on, show them some love by showing other people how strong your beloved team is.
That's right. Very, very close here. When it comes to the draft, no one actually came out on top, in my opinion. It's pretty solid for both of these teams. More of whether or not they're going to be able to catch a lot of crowd controls on the side of M8HEXA, and whether or not they're going to be using a lot of good timing from the Chognor and the Sephira to take the team fights in their favor. A lot of late game can also work wonders for EVOS Esports with the help of the Valheim and the Lindis. Again, will M8HEXA allow that to happen? That's what we're going to be here to find out.
I don't think so, since I'm pretty sure M8HEXA wants to go all in, even if this is just game 1. But the power spike for these two teams, for me, will start at the mid game, because no one's technically that strong. I mean, a handful of heroes is okay in the early game, but no one's significantly strong. They don't have any solid pick for the early game, so they're gonna funnel, just focus on trying to bag objectives, and then by the mid game, possibly that's where they will go with the full-on 5v5 team fights.
Well, we'll have to find out as we head into the game here, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. I think we're
Alrighty, so while we're just fixing some small thingies, and we are gonna update brackets. And if you, speaking of brackets, if you guys aren't updated with what the brackets is, look at the pinned comment right there, right below your screens, or onto the side of your screens. If you're on full screen mode, click that challenge link, and you will see who wins which series. Of course, we're just waiting for the teams to load, since the picks are already there, and we hope that you are enjoying the live stream so far. We're gonna load into the game right now.
M8HEXA versus EVOS Esports Game 1. M8HEXA, we have Unique on the Varus, Quetzal on the Irie, Margelicious on the Diaochan, Miera on the Annette, and Kaisaya on the Rourke.
Alrighty. So this is game 1, man. EVOS Esports not letting M8HEXA get any farm from the early game. Unique, we saw her as Varus yesterday. Her gameplay is really exceptional. Though, I think she's more overly conservative in the early game. She only funnels and farms and barely joins the team fight.
Yeah, Rivaldo, by the way, on the Chognar, Pixie on the Valheim, LW on Sephira, Tazy on the Lindis, and Sherry on the Omen.
The Omen. Omen actually Abyssal Dragon. That was a quick take for EVOS Esports. M8HEXA did not even have any time to respond there.
Yeah, right now, Kaisaya and the Unique on the bottom lane just trying to duo without. Getting a lot of gold lead. EVOS definitely should be able to fight this out.
Ravita got spotted out. Kaisar trying to dish out as much damage as she can, but Pixie of course is at the front line, and now Kiri goes to fire, decides to join the party, but she's being boxed in. What will they do? Varus used her ultimate to try and zone them out, but wait, Unique was able to get away by just the skin of her teeth, a very, very thin skin right there. But EVOS Esports, 4 people down here at the bot lane, putting on so much pressure on to this lane. First blood turn already being down.
And they're really putting a lot of hurt on the bottom side of the map here. Oh my gosh, EVOS wants that goal and they got what they wanted. Right now, 9.1 versus 7.5. That's strong pressure coming in from the red side spot.
Strong pressure, but it's just the early game, so they could just have... They could have been just taking advantage of the fact that there was the 4 of them. I mean, come on, early game, 4 people at the bottom against 2 or 3 of you. That's gonna be quite difficult to invade.
Quite difficult indeed. Right now, Margelicious in the mid lane with the Annette. Oh my gosh, this could be very bad here. That's a very squishy support. Of course, Kaisaya is here with the Rourke. Still waiting to see if anyone's gonna try to go for the fight. Ravalda waiting to see if anyone was gonna need his help, but of course with the Sephira, That's starting to look very unlikely. Top lane, Omen 1v1, Quetzal cannot make it out alive!
Oh no, being boxed in, but wait, of course, Mia right here, Sifera, of course, decided to just sustain her teammates as much as she can, but EVOS Esports, as quickly as they started that clash, they just went and disengaged.
We still have Kaisai and the Varus and the Rourke trying to see if they can match the push that was done by EVOS earlier. Massive push. Don't forget, the Dragon is also very much a contention for both these teams.
Revita being seen right here. Kaisaya tapping the Abyssal Dragon. Almost get called out by Revita right there. But M8HEXA able to disengage from that very, very quick fight. But wait, LW being targeted, they're trying to burst her down. But oh no, the Abyssal Dragon number 2 going over to EVOS Esports again.
Yeah, very quickly done there by EVOS, not even giving M8HEXA any time to respond. No one can actually rotate and match this really fast-paced clear. Even Rivalda is popping up, removing all the crowd control, not allowing the Yao Chan to lock anyone down, freeze him on the ground.
Yeah, fast-paced is the perfect word for it indeed, because Yao Chan cannot position herself or even try to freeze anyone in the area. Valheim still taking his time. He is just at the bot lane, but here the top lane, the pressure from Sherry right here, able to take down one top lane turret. EVOS Esports, they don't want to give M8HEXA any breathing time. Revita being chased down here, but he was able to go to safety.
AoE damage is not enough. Oh, very squishy targets in the mid lane. Freeze in the mid for M8HEXA. This could be very bad if they push the pressure here. And EVOS, they realize this. Now rotating, starting to make a rotation on the jungle of the blue.
Man, solid 4-woman rotation from EVOS right here, but they almost sniped down Kaisaya, but Kaisaya was able to get away, but oh no, going over to the bot lane turret, they're able to take down another blue defense tower, and after that, EVOS, they are just cleaning out the jungle of M8HEXA, going over to the mid lane to try and maybe get another turret.
Yeah, it's pretty massive actually, the way that they're making use of their damage output. Taking down turret on the bottom lane already as well. 3.6k goal lead for EVOS Esports. They're not wasting any time at all to get all the objectives around the map as well, making it so difficult for M8HEXA to catch up in terms of the economy.
Surprisingly, I was right. These two teams aren't all about that fight. They just literally are focusing on their objectives. Like roughly 8 minutes in, 0-0. No one's they may be dishing out damage, but I guess that's just to try and zone each other out or make sure that they will be able to secure an objective. But wait, Quetzal gets caught out there but was able to get away. Unique and Margelicious almost get spotted there at the brush, but no casualty. No, EVOS Esports did not try to do anything funny there or quirky.
It's gonna be still EVOS trying to see if they can ambush someone here around the area. Quetzal trying to see if they're still above, but apparently there is none. See if we can clear some minion waves on the top lane, but we'll be met by 3 members of EVOS.
Oh no, EVOS Esports slowly starving out M8HEXA with their very own resources and bust. But wait, Quetzal gets stunned and she's being boxed in. Will she be able to get away? Apparently, she will not be able to get out. First blood going over to EVOS PH. M8HEXA had no breathing time and they weren't even able to respond to that skirmish there.
On the bottom lane though, it's a completely similar story. Unique. Oh my god, didn't get taken out by Pixie. Really fast tempo on the Valheim. Damage output is real.
Team tower has been destroyed.
Valheim so far, so this could possibly be the first good Valheim gameplay
for
this tournament.
For the whole tournament, absolutely. So that's becoming a big problem here. We'll have to wait and see whether or not we have more up in store coming from M8HEXA, because right now that proved to be very difficult.
storming here at the mid lane. EVOS Esports. Oh no, they were able to get Niera, but Niera trying to get away. But the burst damage from Valheim is just too much. Sephora was able to bag that kill. But Kaysaya is now the next target. She gets bursted down as well. Unique, and now she was able to get away. But EVOS Esports, they are storming that mid lane. Varus using ultimate, but apparently it is just not enough damage power, not enough firepower from M8HEXA. That was a 3 for non-trade in favor of EVOS Esports. Gold advantage, 7 to 8k as well.
Yeah, despite being only 5-0, that massive goal lead just goes to show don't need that much kills. Get ahead, Unique! Slow down and stunned up for a few moments there, but we'll be able to make it out. But Tower
has been
is going to suffer a
destroyed.
lot of damage.
A lot of damage. Red Super Minions already being deployed. And oh no, Pretzel got stunned, but she was able to get away. They are just clearing out the ways, making sure that EVOS Esports will be able to go into their base any longer. But currently there is a new base, and EVOS Esports, they don't care. They're just going straight to the throne. They're able to take down Niera even. And this looks like it. But wait, M8HEXA, we will not let you win that easily. They were able to burst at least Sherry down, but Sherry sustains, and game 1 going over to EVOS Esports.
And very impressive, fast-paced game. 10 minutes and 50 seconds. EVOS Esports will go on top against M8HEXA 1-0. M8HEXA fans out there, hope you guys are being very diligent.
You
with
guys
your
okay?
prayers.
What? To all M8HEXA fans out there, do not be sad, do not worry. This is the best of 3. So, I think M8HEXA did not expect that 4-woman rotation at the bot lane in the early game, because the rotation from EVOS Esports was really solid. You could barely see them apart from each other. They were never spread out thin, but instead they were the ones just, you know, trying to get control of the map, and from there they were able to get the resources, the objectives, and they were able to deny farm from Quetzal as well. So game 1 being bagged by EVOS Esports.
Man, scary stuff here coming from the EVOS Esports composition. So far that was actually not just because of the composition itself, but more of the way that they played it. They played it in a very aggressive manner, shoving and pushing non-stop until they can basically barely make it out alive, maximizing their HP bars, maximizing their damage, allowed them to really get away with that game.
In that game, M8HEXA, I think they were just too limited with their movements. Like whenever they try to invade EVOS Esports, nope, we're right here. And whenever they do try to disengage, they had the moment Valheim joined that clash right there, he was able to stun and stop a handful of members of M8HEXA. So there was just a lot of CC, and M8HEXA just did not. M8HEXA was just not able to answer to that.
Yeah, unfortunately, of course, for M8HEXA, banning out pure marksman lineup from
Surprisingly.
EVOS apparently kind of works out. And the focus banning is just too much, so that might indicate that, that might force rather M8HEXA to go for the first marksman pick on the first rotation. Of course, this time around they will be on second, so they will have more options when it comes to having more availability in those heroes.
So we are just waiting for these two lovely teams to load into game 2. Will M8HEXA be able to bag game 2? Or will EVOS Esports bag this series entirely? Do not forget to share the live stream, guys. Tag your friends, but keep on showing the love for your teams.
That's right. Please share and let them know that you support them. It's going to be a very, very intense fight. M8HEXA fighting for their tournament lives right here in the FSL circuit Arena of Valor.
They're just one match away from pushing this series to a game 3 or going home.
Man, I don't want to do that at all. So the problem is, again, I think the
M8HEXA.
Chognor pick just really screwed up the chances of that Yao Chan to actually make a huge ultimate. I didn't see any good Yao Chan ultimates in that whole game. It's pretty sad, but I don't blame the Yao Chan. That's just what happens. You get a Chognor in the middle of the fight, removing that freeze and allowing everyone to basically escape into safety.
Yes. And also, I guess this time around, M8HEXA could try and go with a draft that will answer to what EVOS Esports will show them. Again, we're just waiting for the ladies to load into the lobby. We're gonna jump into the game 2 in a bit. So I hope you guys are doing well. To all the M8HEXA fans out there, just breathe, trust in your team, they got this.
Yeah, Chognor ban is a big possibility as well. So that's definitely what I would say. Go ahead and ban the Chognor. I feel like it will be a bit of a better time for the M8HEXA composition. Anyway, we are loading into game 2. Hope you guys are still there. Hope you guys are still there to support your teams. Check out what they have in store for us.
Load to the game right now. So this is Series 3, Game 2, EVOS Esports versus M8HEXA.
Okay. I think it's definitely something that EVOS Esports
Blue team's turn
does
to
not
ban.
want to see in this game. Can't believe that's actually a first ban. Very rarely see that, to be honest.
Well, both teams decided to shake up the meta. You know, like they're gonna show us things that we don't usually see. But let's see who will be the second ban from the side of EVOS Esports.
It's gonna be hard for me to come up with something new for this draft here, though. 'Cause I feel like, oh my god,
Red team's turn.
they are not
to ban.
going for anything new at all. Just going for the marksman, full marksman ban.
If it works, then why change it, right? I guess that's what EVOS Esports is looking at right now, and they are in charge of the first pick. So, like what you said, M8HEXA is now forced to go with a first pick marksman.
First pick marksman, definitely a huge priority here for M8HEXA. This time around, they won't be able to ban anyone else. If you're, especially if you are M8HEXA right now, you don't want to ban any big marksman picks. The Terra are going to be the one to be removed. Instead, no Chognor bans at all.
Ooh. So I guess I'm just thinking they can either deal with it, or they can just, this is a possibility as well, they can pick Chognar for themselves.
Chognor,
Red team's
good
turn
possibility to be
to
picked up
pick.
here. So maybe just remove the counter for most of the heroes for M8HEXA, but will that be worth it? Is it going to be worth it? Will it allow your team to actually land on top here? Let's see.
Yeah, alright. First hover. Just a hover on the side of M8HEXA. They could, I was actually about to say Varus, but Violet is a good hover, or a good possible pick as well.
But they might be locking this in. Removing the full marksman comp, not going to be a viable option this time around for EVOS Esports unless they want to avoid any double marksman compositions. Again, without defending, that usually is not that viable. We will see something shaken up here.
The problem that M8HEXA had in game 1 was, even in the early game, they were starved of their very own resources in jungle. So what they could do now is try to, keep their jungle in check. Varus being picked from EVOS Esports here along with a Valheim. So, okay, that could be a deny pick for M8HEXA, since we have known that M8HEXA uses Varus quite frequently.
That's true. Again, possibility of denial is still pretty big. It's Valheim though. I can't believe the confidence of EVOS Esports. I know they're trying to just avoid being banned out themselves, but usually Valheim, I don't reserve this for first or second
Red
rotation.
team's turn
Usually want
to
that as a
ban.
last resort, but they seem to be very confident about it.
I guess they think that since Valheim was significantly strong in game 1, M8HEXA might include that in the second rotation ban. So they didn't want to risk it and just went with a second rotation pick for EVOS Esports. Roxy being picked for M8HEXA right here, and let's wait if they're actually gonna, and who would be their next ban. Zephys is a good ban.
yeah, I couldn't work with the
Blue
Zephyrs for
team's
sure.
turn to ban.
Other than that, I feel like we also want to remove a tank here for EVOS Esports. Try to see if they can please remove the Chognar. That's pretty big,
Blue team's
especially if you
turn
want to
to
go for some
ban.
strong crowd control. But looks like M8HEXA this time around just wants to go for pure raw damage instead of relying on the massive AOE crowd control.
They want that direct and life bar wrecking type of damage. But again, this is gonna depend on whether will they be able to funnel or will EVOS Esports just mirror what they did in game 1. Pullen, Hummer right here as a ban, and they did ban that out.
Don't want to have one hero go on the back line undetected and take out that Violet. That's something they're really trying really hard to avoid here for M8HEXA.
The fourth pick for their side. The draft is looking pretty good, but it's leaning more towards the late game. So they have no choice but try to prolong the game and make sure that EVOS Esports does not storm them in this game too.
We don't really have like the comp to dive just yet, so that's exactly what M8HEXA is trying to avoid. They could try to go and remove it and counter it and ball them. Either one to be picked up here. Pretty solid front line. Roxy and Baldum already. Solid crowd control as well from M8HEXA.
Yes, good setup for Hayate and Violet and whoever will be the last pick for M8HEXA. But Annette being hovered, Nacross being locked in. No, wait, both of them actually got locked in. So the draft for EVOS Esports is now complete. Omen, Valheim, Varus, Annette, and Nacross. Pretty standard, except for the Valheim. It worked in game 1, so they're keeping that. Y-Fix was not good yet.
Yeah, M8HEXA is definitely gonna have a bit of an easier time in the early game, considering there is a Nacross. It kind of does need a lot of items before it can pull off any major assassinations, especially against a Roxy and a Baldum. Hayate might be an easier target. Same time, Violet, though, will be the weakest point, supposedly, for M8HEXA in the first 5 minutes of the game.
If Violet is not able to farm or funnel, this is gonna spell bad for M8HEXA. Aside from her and Hayate, who will be the next solid damage dealer? Because Roxy is more of a damage dealer, but she's more onto the front line. Baldwin as well, and Crixie, last pick for M8HEXA, literally more on the support, or you can build Crixie to hurt, but she's all about that knock up and just quick tap on to the enemy
10
kind of damage.
seconds
You
remain.
gotta rely on the quick knockups and, of course, ultimate, or that's Trixie to hurt later on. Most likely will be just accompanying Roxy if you can find someone, catch someone, then just lead off into the battle. However, of course, what we want to see here as well is whether or not this EVOS lineup can actually sustain in the later stages of the game. However, of course, with the help of a Varus and the Valheim, it should be a bit easier. Omen is a pretty solid pick, but that happens later on. Same with the Nacroft. Annette will have a lot of work cut out for this girl in keeping the game alive for EVOS.
And well, for M8HEXA, they I guess the drafts for both teams is both leaning onto the second half of the mid game to the first half of the late game. So everything's even Steven. But again, M8HEXA has to make sure that EVOS won't be able to invade and control their jungle like in game 1. So of course, while waiting for these lovely teams to load into our game, share the live stream, show them all the love, and tag your friends, and share this into your group chats or maybe even mobile gaming groups on Facebook.
Yeah, let us know who you think is going to come out on top as well. Is it a hashtag EVOS win or a hashtag M8HEXA win? Let us know on the chat why and who you support. Let's go into the game for game 2, EVOS Esports versus M8HEXA.
Alrighty, here we go. Game 2 indeed. M8HEXA now with a better draft, but EVOS Esports has their very own surprise pocket picks as well. Will they go with what works in game 1, or are they gonna try and shake things up? M8HEXA has the slight pressure now since they were able to bag a crick, so that's more of a range burst type of sport.
And of course, EVOS. You also have that Nacroc. I feel like the Nacroc, we have to keep an eye on this guy. He clears the jungle really, really quickly. It will allow them to go for more earlier ganks. Freeman attempt here to go for the Cruise Eagle just to get some of that vision. Of course, will be secured by M8HEXA for the meantime.
Right, slowly but surely they will win the game. Patience is a virtue for M8HEXA. They are taking their time, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Might as well go with safety than risk with something, or just, you know, go all around the map without any assurance that you are gonna get any objectives. Miera being spotted out here, but not really being taken or damaged by EVOS.
Yeah, Revolta also just trying to keep this mid lane stable until the Varus can get that ultimate. Usually that's what you want to do as well. Bottom lane could also be a point of attention. Unique. Watch out for this girl as well. If he gets the items he needs, that could spell the end for EVOS. Usually that's the recipe for disaster for most comps that run the Violet anyway.
EVOS Esports not rotating as solid as they did in game 1. Maybe they're just trying to take a feel, but wait, someone gets knocked up right here. Margelicious could be taken down, but wait, yeah, that was first blood going over to EVOS Esports, but of course they're gonna stop and just gonna rotate over the objective. But Miera gets caught out as well. Unique trying to free it from the sides, but the damage is just not enough. Good disengage from M8HEXA.
That's right. Of course, they will have the ability to go for Abyssal Dragon. It's not gonna be crippling yet for them to die unless the Violet gets beaten out early on. So far that's not happening. That's definitely a good thing for EVOS.
Crixie just getting the damage, but Miera gets seen right here. Kaisaya tries to save her teammate and she was able to do so. EVOS Esports now forced to go back and just play a bit conservatively. Varus though being seen all over the map, which is a good sign because EVOS Esports they're still confident. Miera against Varus 1v1, who will win? But with of course the backup is right
You
here.
wanna keep going. They keep on fighting around the Abyssal Dragon, not letting go of control at all.
Varus not letting Miera up, uses her ultimate, but apparently it did not connect. Two people from EVOS make that tree. Is right there waiting for the Abyssal Dragon to be taken down.
Abyssal Dragon almost to have here. Kaisaya does spot this out. Pixie here as well. Make sure they don't come near, stunned by that Valheim, ensures Abyssal Dragon goes over to the blue side.
First Abyssal Dragon onto EVOS Esports yet again. That's a small slip off from M8HEXA. Cherry clearing out the wave here at the top lane, but EVOS, look at that, they are slowly storming the bot lane with Miera and Kaisaya forced to back away. Both of them get stunned. Oh no, the lockup is too solid. EVOS Esports, they are going all that. They're charging at M8HEXA with all of their firepower. Valheim was able to bag a kill there, and they're gonna get that turret as well as a consolation.
Yeah, Nacroc doesn't even need to go and deal damage yet. Just the knockup is apparently proving to be enough. Roxy plumps down into Sherry. He's very low and will he die? Apparently no. My gosh, he still survives it.
So close, just one hit away from getting that revenge kill, but EVOS LW on this Varus now can clear that minion wave. Varus looking pretty good, honestly, compared to the previous series. And M8HEXA just making sure that they will be able to get their jungle. Pretzel will be able to knock someone up, but Miera says hello. EVOS Esports just gonna avoid those three members from M8HEXA.
Yeah, for the meantime, it looks like it's going to be a 4-man rotation in the mid lane. Oh, that's a lot of damage coming in from side of M8HEXA.
They just need one good opening or one good clash to, take 3 or 4 people down from EVOS Esports, and from there they can rotate and maybe get the death timers one or two turrets, but two people from the mid lane gets knocked up, but there was no follow-up, so they're just gonna go under turret for their safety. EVOS just gonna rotate over the top lane. Quetzal being targeted right here. That is a lot of damage. Shurikens from Valheim, but wait, M8HEXA, they're gonna go to engage right here near the mid lane, but the knockouts is just too solid. Kirksey uses their ultimate. What's gonna happen to M8HEXA right now? They were able to bag one kill, and now Pixie is the next target. Tazy being chased by Miera was able to get away, but Quetzal, I'm gonna try to get or burst someone down, but they decided to just relax and not force a unwanted team.
Despite being 3-1, they're not behind by that far, so there's still a possibility of M8HEXA just totally dominating this top lane. We'll see if that's the case. However, bottom lane, of course, will go over the open.
Oh no, they were able to get two people down, and Miera gets taken down. Then, oh wait, Pretzel, come on, you can still go. Apparently, double kill. Going over to Valheim. That was a bit of a forced team fight, given that they were 2 or 3 people from EVOS ESPORT at the top lane, or it was just a really good initiate. 2 of them got stunned, and the follow-up was right there. M8HEXA could have just gotten him with the turret, or they could have just rotated over to the jungle and, you know, starve EVOS ESPORTs of the farm.
Well, that's what they wanted to go for, but apparently it's becoming very, very difficult. Especially considering Pixie is just so strong on the Valheim right now on the top lane. Alongside, of course, the help of the Annette should start to look a really solid push on top lane. There's no one to stop here except for the Roxy. Tower will go to the red
Team tower has been destroyed.
EVOS ESPORTs, right?
Valheim starting to become a threat indeed. Just look at that burst, that
Oh my
stun,
God.
and the damage. Even Quetzal is just forced to stay under turret. Where is the backer? 3 people at the top lane, and Quetzal is just being pressured too much. And here we go, Unique decides to join the party, but will her damage be enough? Apparently it is. It was enough to zone out the members from EVOS. But here at the mid lane, Margelicious on this
A
Pixie,
blue
another
team
new defense
tower
tower
has been
being
destroyed.
taken down.
Bottom lane going down. Finally for EVOS getting some gold this time for M8HEXA. Exactly what they need to get back in this game. Now, Violet will stand up. A lot of damage going to Pixie. Gonna be shielded up right in the nick of time. Missile Grind, of course, will go over to the side of M8HEXA.
One objective checked, and now M8HEXA is gonna play this slow. If they're able to prolong this game, I think the odds of them winning is pretty good. But again, the aggression and just the pressure that EVOS ESPORT is giving them right now is just really too much. They usually catch Unique or Quetzal off guard, so they could try to do a 3 or 4 woman rotation for the side of M8HEXA.
Non-stop pressure coming in from the mid lane. Omen, Sherry, just so great. Alone on the bottom lane, doesn't give a care in the world.
Sherry and Pixie is just really confident right now because of their itemizations. Also, we're gonna check the items in a bit. After one solid clash, Miera actually trying to force this skill onto LW, but Pixie is right there. Enough to make Miera go back again. Just the stun and the damage is so much coming from this Valheim.
Yeah, so much damage and something that the Roxy can't
A blue
really
team
deal with
tower has
on
been
her
destroyed.
own. Heck here. But so, survive against Pixie, try to catch him up. Of course, Vision will go over to M8HEXA on the top lane. Mid lane though, there's a lot of scary heroes waiting.
M8HEXA needs to catch this Valheim off guard before they will go to a team fight. Oh no, a Unique being knocked up right here, but Kirksey used her ultimate, but Onslaught going over to Daisy. And EVO's not gonna stop anytime soon. LW gets out by just the skin of her teeth, and now Miera trying to dish out as much damage as she can, but she gets knocked up, she gets stunned, she can't move, and she gets bursted down. Even though Margelicious was trying to keep her teammate alive, and another turret goes down at the mid lane. Daisy jumps in, able to take down this Kirksey. Oh no, the life bars of M8HEXA is actually going down. Double kill going over to this Valheim, and Quetzal, you might want to go back, and she does. She was able to get away alive, but that was a 3 for non-trade in favor of EVOS ESPORTs, plus more buffs and jungle onto their side.
Yep, 9-1 on the kill score right now, almost 5,000 goal lead for the blue side squad. That kind of opens up the possibility of going for a Dark Slayer as well. They will go for it.
Oh, another objective being taken by EVOS Esports, non-contested, because look at the damage output, and it's gonna take a lot of time for M8HEXA to even go to that area. Sherry gets caught out, but
Solo
Kaysaya
laning
decided
here.
just to ignore it. Miera decides to give it a go. Sherry trying to get away, but the stun, that was a really good
Oh
timing
my gosh.
predictions 100, with a lot of resources being used just to burst one person down from EVOS Esports Quetzal. Now the lady being left behind here at the mid lane, trying to defend that last inhibitor turret, and the members from M8HEXA decides to join the party. They are here. They were able to take one enemy down, and the respawn time will be 13 seconds. That is quite a lot of seconds for them to defend their base.
Yep. Sorry. The Drake will be pushing up on the top side here. No one else here for EVOS wants to clarify. And mid lane will be the fight here. Oh my god, they want to go for the engagement. The tower going down on top side with the help of the Val line. So much damage.
Valheim being the unsung hero right here, but M8HEXA, look at the sun dominating, going over this Valheim. The life bars of M8HEXA just being burned down. EVOS Esports, they have the sustain. That is a lot of kills going over to their side, but wait, Pixie gets bursted down. Kaysaya, of course, correct. One more! Come on! That was so close! That was literally just 2 auto attacks away from getting a double kill, but the blue Superman is already being deployed. That was a nice try from M8HEXA, but that was a 2-for-1 trade in favor of EVOS Esports. So close for
close.
M8HEXA.
Go for the comeback play, get at least some gold to shut down those heroes that are rampaging right now on the side of EVOS. 11-3 on the kill score. Already 6k gold lead almost in favor of people in EVOS Esports. So far the map is pretty open. They didn't lose the inhibitor on the top side, that's pretty good. However, of course, EVOS are not showing any signs of slowing down at all.
The box potential of EVOS is really strong. Miera gets stunned, but she was able to get away. Pixie is starting to become a really pain in the head for M8HEXA right here.
Really is painful. So difficult to deal with. However, top lane, very quick play by the Nacrop. Will they try to go for something big here? Pulling back onto that Baldum. Baldum going down, not going to be able to catch anyone at all. Bottom lane pushing at the same time because the big guy. This might be too much for M8HEXA to handle.
Oh no, even Alzobis actually got caught out. The Margelicious gets taken down. Miera the next target, but she was able to get away. Oh no, Pretzel is the one receiving so much damage with Legendary going over to this Valheim. Sherry gets taken down though by this Pretzel, and will EVOS Esports be able to zone M8HEXA out? Apparently the answer is yes. M8HEXA now forced to just defend their last inhibitor turret along with Pretzel and Miera. Though the life bars of EVOS Esports is quite enough, but wait, Pixie again. Valheim super strong, 13 minutes in. Quetzal won't be able to live to see another day right there. 3 people down from the red team.
Start to get really scary here for M8HEXA. Trying to save themselves, trying to keep holding on. Turning alive. Tazzy will get down. Baldum, that core very, very close to going down. What will happen?
Good only from this Pixie, but the follow-up is just not there. If M8HEXA's plan is to just zone out EVOS Esports their base, then yes, that is a good plan. They were able to preserve their base. Game 2, still at it. They are not gonna stop, but the problem is they do not have any more turrets on their side. Abyssal Dragon being taken by EVOS Esports as well.
Good thing about this is that EVOS Esports, they're not really elevating the gold lead yet, but the map is just looking so much better here for the blue side. It will allow them to get a really easy grasp of the Dark Slayer area, and it'll be very difficult for the M8HEXA composition to go through this front line.
EVOS has the control of the jungle now. 60-70% of the jungle even. So it goes to show how their textbook learning and textbook gameplay is working really well for them. M8HEXA now just confined onto their own base in the air, gets caught out, but wait, Quetzal first trying to defend. They don't even, EVOS Esports doesn't even care, they just want to go straight to the throw, but they were able to take 2, make that maybe even 3 people down, and this could possibly be game 2, and it is game 2, going over to EVOS Esports.
That will be a 2-0 in favor of EVOS Esports on the blue side. Congratulations, they will move forward into the bracket, even further allowing themselves more. They've definitely proved themselves against a very strong team like M8HEXA. So congratulations to EVOS Esports for that.
I have to commend EVOS Esports' boxing potential as well. They know how to make sure an enemy or maybe even 2 won't be able to get away, and because of that, pair it off with their invades. It just became really difficult for M8HEXA. They're pretty good in the early game though. They were able to get the farm, the buffs, the objectives, but after a while, after being caught out most of the time, EVOS Esports just bagged that game too.
Yeah, EVOS Esports definitely showing that you can make a very strong tempo play with using the Valheim as well as just the Annette. The Annette support was just bonkers in this game. And Tazzy in the Nacroft doesn't even need items. He just went for the knockups early on. That was basically enough to allow EVOS a strong head start early on.
That was just the thing that they need. So apparently Series 3 ending with a 2-0 in favor of EVOS Esports. To those who are watching, thank you so much for enjoying this series with us. But wait, we still have one more series after this. We are just updating the brackets. So you will see that shall launch in the, actually here. The brackets are being shown onto your screen. Just one series left and we will see tomorrow who will be at the semifinals and grand finals for FSL Circuit AOV.
Very impressive again. GG well played. GGWB ladies versus Sweet Hurts. That's gonna be coming up next. So guys, don't go away. We will be back for more FSL Circuit Arena of Valor. I'm Rockhart.
And I am Miko. Sit back, relax, and wait for us to come back.